let's actually go and look at what's happened on the market. So as I said, I don't know about you, but Friday, I actually thought ETH was really going to break out. We had ETH at $3,450. And I really thought this was the ETH breakout. This was finally the beginning of an ETH breakout, and altcoin season was actually going to start coming, and more money was going to be flowing into ETH. And I remember I was with Crypto, and I spoke to Crypto, and he opened an ETH long, and I opened an ETH long. And then bang, Trump comes in. On Friday night, when the markets are closed, on Friday night, remember that, when the markets are closed, Trump announces that he's implemented a 25% tariff on imports from Canada, from Mexico, 10% on Canadian energy, and 10% additional tariff on China. Now, the reason why they did this, we'll talk about, but it was around the fentanyl crisis, right? He's talking about these countries allowing fentanyl to come into the United States, and that's why he did it. And initially, we didn't think that this was real, but then the presidential spokeswoman came out, the presidential spokesperson came out.
And talked through some of the president's things.
I saw that report, and it is false. I was just with the president in the Oval Office, and I can confirm
I said this all happened on a Friday, right? This all happened on a Friday. Now remember that another thing actually happened on a Friday, right? And that was the launch of Trump Coin. Seems like a lot of things are happening on a Friday when the market's actually being closed, and a lot of people are now talking that maybe this is actually market manipulation. Now, this came out, and I don't think it's real, but I think we need to read it just for a second, right? It says, I was the lead market maker at Jump. I'm no longer under NDA, so I can say this. Typically, when you see market moves during the weekend like this, it is pure market manipulation. It was one of the tactics I invented during low market movements. We would load up and pay attention to crypto Twitter as a source of sentiment, with specific accounts organized in specific categories. One thing I used to do was purposely nuking 4-hour candles on Bitcoin and ETH, which was an easy trap and basically made people capitulate, right? At the end of the capitulating, before we reversed, bottom shorters got comfortable here, and then they'd reverse and do this the other way. Now, I don't think that this is real. However, I do think that there is some kind of market manipulation that's actually happening. And I like this, which says the practice is often called flushing or liquidation hunting. And this is how exchanges can use market makers to actually make money on weekends. They know that in the time where there is altcoin capitulation, they know that in times of altcoin capitulation, the liquidity is very low. And it's very easy for them to move tokens up and down and to actually get the market liquidated. And that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what may be happening right now. And someone says, why is the market beating? Says, simple answer, market manipulation by market makers. Low weekend volumes make it easier to dump charts. Market makers buy back low, while scared retail investors sells low and buys back high. Be careful that you don't get caught into this market manipulation. Be careful. It is happening. I can tell you for sure that I know that it is happening. I know for sure that this market manipulation is happening.
Cryptocurrencies have taken a nosedive, with Bitcoin hitting a 3-week low and Ether experiencing its steepest decline since November 2022. This dramatic turn of events isn't occurring in isolation. It coincides with U.S. President Donald Trump's sudden imposition of tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China. The market's response has been swift and severe, shaking the crypto world to its core. Welcome back to Investocracy Crypto.
It is bad. If you're holding altcoins, and specifically if you're holding meme coins, it's bad. And I think that's one of the lessons of actually holding meme coins, and why I told everybody, get out of your meme coins. Remember I told you to get out of your meme coin? We still got the chart here. This is the PopCat chart. So get out. You can see it was almost the top. That's now down 90%. And there's a reason, because I felt that this correction was actually coming. But what I didn't feel like is that there would be an absolute capitulation. And that's exactly what we're getting now. This guy says, genuinely the worst altcoin capitulation I've seen in 7 years plus. BTC might even close the day green, but many crypto favorites are down 25 to 40%. What you're getting now is you're getting a decoupling. And that's the worst part of this capitulation, because you have Bitcoin at 100,000, but you have the altcoins down. And in fact, if you look at January, there's a stat here which I saw, which said something like, hold on, let's see if we can get down. Bitcoin was up 7% 0.54% in January, but the median altcoin on Binance is down 25%. And that's the problem. The problem is that you've got Bitcoin up and you've got the altcoins down, and that's causing max pain in the altcoins. And that max pain is causing the retail investors to get shaken out. You can see that here, retail is completely flushed out of Bitcoin, and the institutions are the ones buying Bitcoin. And then if you look at it here, pretty much it shows you that the retail investors are panic selling and the large investors are actually buying. And so this is a situation where you're getting retail absolutely capitulating and selling out. Now, the reason why I say retail and not altcoins is because who's buying the altcoins? The retail investors. Who's buying Bitcoin? The institutional investors. And so this is designed to destroy the retail investor. And that's pretty much what's happening, as I said to you.
Bitcoin, the stalwart of digital assets, saw prices retract to a staggering drop in just 3 short weeks. Ether, its silvery counterpart in the crypto realm, fared even worse, plummeting by 25% since last Friday. The backdrop to this turmoil? A brewing trade war fueled by the U.S. administration's surprise announcement of tariffs on some of its biggest trading partners. The U.S.'s aggressive stance sent ripples through the global markets, mirrored in the precarious dance of cryptocurrencies.
The thing is, don't panic just yet. And I'll tell you why don't panic just yet. Because here are some tweets from 2021. January 2021. And people saying, no alt season this time. Dump the garbage. There is no alt season. Dead cat bounce for altcoins going to die and there'll be no alt season. It seems that there'll be no alt season this year, only Bitcoin season. Bitcoin has doubled in price while the alt season. These are all posts from 2021. And so I know that sometimes we forget. But this is 2021, and it sounded and it felt exactly the same. So I know a lot of you weren't here in 2021. I can tell you that this is exactly what it felt like and what it looked like in 2021. And if we look at seasonality on our side, you can see that this is the chart on which Bitcoin usually bounces, and it usually bounces up in January. So could it be the end of the cycle? It could be. We'll talk about that tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll do a show about whether or not this is the end of the cycle. And it's possible that it could be. But I don't think it is. I think there may be some more alt season. There might be some more Vuma in the alt season. And I think it's actually going to start happening. And because of that, because I think that, I do think that this is the capitulation. This is like the final capitulation before the move up. And I don't know how long it's going to last. It could last a week. It could last a month. We could get one other leg down before everything starts moving. But this is really max pain for altcoin holders. And the reason why it's max pain for altcoin holders is because most people are holding actual Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is actually going up. Altcoins and Bitcoin is the one going up, while the retail investors are the ones holding the altcoins, and that's actually going down. And that's pretty much what's going on here. So that's what I think. I think we are in the midst of a capitulation. If you're feeling it, you're not alone. Everybody's feeling it. I know people that have basically fallen out of altcoins, got destroyed, got liquidated, got mentally destroyed out of these altcoins. Never want to be back in crypto ever again.
Shares in Coinbase, a premier U.S. crypto exchange, dropped 5.5% in pre-market trading. Even President Trump's eponymous cryptocurrency saw its value dip below $20, a far cry from its January high of over $73. The reason for this collective retreat is simple. Investors flee at the first hint of uncertainty, and these tariffs are a thunderclap echoing through the halls of market stability. Interestingly, Bitcoin has managed to retain more of its value compared to Ether, in part because some investors still view it as a risk-off asset, a metaphorical safe haven akin to digital gold. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
We did see an ETH breakout on Friday, and if it wasn't for the tariffs, maybe this would have been the ETH breakout that would have brought on the alt season, right? Also, in the charts, if you look at the charts, is the head and shoulders on ETH that actually could actually play, the inverse head and shoulders on ETH, which could actually play out. Also, as Pentoshi says, this is where the rally occurred from in the last cycle. So we got to this level, and this is where the rally occurred from the last cycle when you look at the Bitcoin versus ETH ratio. So lots of good things around ETH. Also, lots of inflows into ETH for a change. So all of a sudden, ETH starting to get a bid. And also, you're getting. I'm monitoring the ETF inflows. So I'm monitoring them relative to total market cap. Right now, Bitcoin's got a 0.1% since the 20th of January, and ETH's got a 0.02. So ETH's lagging on an ETF inflows. But when this ratio actually changes, that's when we're actually going to strike and say that we do have an ETH altcoin season actually happening.
While the recent downturn has rattled the field, the foundations for potential growth remain robust. Bitcoin, despite its dip, is still seen by many as a cornerstone of future digital economies. Analysts forecast a brighter horizon, where regulatory clarity and market maturation could spearhead its ascent back to previous highs and beyond. But what are your thoughts on Bitcoin's place amidst these fluctuations? Share your perspective. And finally, if you would like to know more about cryptocurrencies or specifically Bitcoin, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.